Dr. Robert Caen. Welcome back to my channel. Patients often ask me these questions. To help me answer these questions, today I've got a special guest, Dr. Namita Caen, a clinical sexologist and intimacy and relationship coach based in Mill Valley, California. We're gonna have a candid question and answer session today about the topics that you've been probably wondering about, but maybe we're too polite to ask. Dr. Caen?
So this is probably the most common question I get. I get this question every day, and it creates a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety for people, worrying about whether they're normal. People will worry about whether, does my penis have a normal size? What's a normal amount of masturbation? Am I having a normal amount of sex? And what is a normal amount of sex anyway? How long is it normal for a man to last when he's having penetration with a partner? Is it normal to be turned on by the things that excite me? The trouble with normal is that we begin to measure ourselves against the standard that's not our own. Instead, there's only what's normal for you. So what's normal is what's normal for you and your partner, if you have a partner. What you find pleasurable and sexually satisfying is what's normal for you. And what turns other people on is what's normal for them. So rather than trying to fit into the normal box, why not try and figure out, discover and explore what feels pleasurable and satisfying for you? In my practice, I help clients to focus less on trying to figure out what's normal and what other people are doing, and more on discovering their own sexual preferences.
In your work with couples, I'd be curious to hear what are some of the things that women wish that men knew?
What are some of the things that women wish men knew? Well, I think that women wish that they had sexual communication with their partner. I think they wish that they might be asked what their interests are, what their preferences are, and what feels good to them. So women wish to have more communication sexually. They also seem to want to have more foreplay. Women's bodies typically take much longer than men's bodies to warm up. Science research has shown that it takes somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes up to about 45 minutes to an hour for a female body to be fully engorged. That lends itself to having much more foreplay. So a lot of women wish they had much more time to warm up and to be able to transition into sex being pleasurable. Finally, a lot of women would like their partner to be able to last longer, to be able to be inside them for longer, to have intercourse for longer.
There are so many explicit videos on the internet these days that are so easily accessible. What kind of problems do you find that watching these videos creates for men?
Sometimes watching things on the internet creates a more performance-based model of sex. And this can be a little bit misleading because real sex is not performative. Real sex is about pleasure, it's about having fun, it's about connecting with your partner, and it's not about a linear trajectory of working through certain steps that are performance-based. So if we're focusing how we do sex on what we see online, it's inevitable that we're probably going to try to replicate that in some way, especially if we don't have a lot of experience. And the performance-based model is a model that doesn't leave any room whatsoever for things not going according to plan, if you will. And life does not go according to plan, and nor does sex. Yeah, the performance-based model focuses more on what's going to happen next rather than what feels good in the moment. And ideally, sex is about connecting in the moment, having fun, experiencing pleasure without necessarily having to strive to reach certain goals, such as maintaining an erection, such as having intercourse. These are wonderful things to experience, but they're not the only things to experience during sex. The definition of sex is much broader than that.
Dr. Caen, sometimes I see some very young men in their 20s and 30s who are completely healthy, but have erectile issues. What do you do for guys like that?
I see lots of young men who have issues around maintaining an erection or having an ejaculation sooner than they would like to. We call this early ejaculation, or PE. So I'll often ask them how many online videos they're watching and if that's the only way that they're getting their sexual education and sexual fulfillment. It's really important for folks to vary the ways in which they learn about sex. And some of the ways we can learn, obviously, are through videos and online, and other ways are through real interactions with real people without worrying that everything has to go exactly according to plan. Self-pleasure is also really important. When we learn about our bodies through self-touch and through what feels good to us, we learn to discover what our preferences are, and that gives us so much valuable information to share with a potential partner.
Why might a man seek out your services as an intimacy or relationship coach?
There are many reasons why a man might want to come and see an intimacy coach. Oftentimes, folks are struggling with the sexual aspect of their relationship. Folks may be in a sexless marriage, or they may be in a marriage where they are having sex and sex isn't as pleasurable as it could be or as satisfying as it could be. And their sexual functioning might be impeded by stress, by work, by the pandemic, and they may be having experiences that are less than satisfying. So I work with folks who have sexual dysfunction. I work with folks in sexless marriages, folks who've had a lot of trauma and who are shy or nervous or apprehensive about having sex. Many of my clients are in relationships that have been sexless for a long time. And sexless for some people may mean a couple of months, and for other people might mean a number of years. When you're a sexless marriage, a lot of folks are wondering how to reignite the spark and how to get back to what they had in the past. More important than that is to be able to connect with what's possible now. Oftentimes things have changed in the relationship, and that may have affected a couple's sexuality. I think what I'm trying to say, Robert, is that they often want to rekindle the past, and it's gone. The past is gone. We have to work with what's present now, which could be like 3 children later, a different job, moving to Minnesota, you know, whatever it is.
Thanks so much for chatting with me today, Dr. Caen. Be sure to check out her YouTube channel. The link is down in the description below. If someone watching this video had some more questions or wanted to reach out to you to enlist your services, how would they do so?
I offer sex and intimacy coaching for individuals and couples, and the best way to reach me is probably through my website, drnamitacaen.com. There's a contact form and you can reach out to me that way.
Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this session and learned something useful. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and give us a thumbs up.